What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? It's Chris back with you guys with another cool video. If you guys are into the moon like I am, and everything that surrounds it, whether it be artifacts, cities, and you're going to love this. And by the way, if you have your magnifiers, you're going to want to break them out. Yes, this one's going to be awesome. You're going to love this. Not only does it look like there is intelligently made structures on it, there's one that's huge, and I will cover that too, that's on, and it's being covered up like in a 2D fashion. Of course, we know NASA, JPL, or anybody else would never do that, right? But that's what they're doing to these photos. So I'm going to, these photos were released by Ken Johnston Sr., and I'll give you a little background real quick. I'll skim over his bio real quickly, and I'll give you the other pages too where you can find some more information in these pictures and so on and so forth. So let's get into it. Don't want to make it too long. Let's just see what we've got. Okay, here it is right here, Ken Johnston Media, and you got Ken's bio, but it also has a little bit of a bio here on the page as well. Now, when you look at this right here, Roswell, New Mexico, and then it says, Dr. Ken Johnston Sr., whistleblower and witness to the image manipulation at NASA in Houston during the Apollo days, is donating a copy of his book series, Ken's Moon. The 3-book series includes an archives of Apollo mission photos that obtained during his tenure working at Lunar Receiving Lab in Houston, Texas, at the Johnson Space Center. Included in the donation is the other information about Ken Johnston and video clips of interviews he has done over the years, including BBC, so on and so forth. But when you get down here, it explains what happened to these photos. When Johnston was working at this lunar receiving lab at the Johnson Space Center, I kind of want to say Johnson at the same time, for reasons that have never been adequately explained, NASA officials ordered the destruction of 5 full sets of irreplaceable photos of the missions that had been kept for use and studied by scientists and NASA employees. Imagine that. Why would they just want to just study it other than just rocks and garbage? But anyway, Johnson argued with his boss because he thought that the extra sets of the photos should be shared with university and scientific institutions. Great idea, I think so. Because his boss expressly stated, I don't care what you do, just get rid of them. Ken had found his loophole for keeping 2 sets. One set that he gave to a university has all been disappeared. Imagine that. The other he kept for his own records. 3 sets of the photos went into the dumpsters behind the building as ordered. He's kept this set over many years and shared them with various researchers. So now you can see right here it says 19. In 2015, Johnson met the with researchers Brett Colin Shepard and Karen Christine Patrick of the Lunar Anomaly Research Society, which is, I have no idea. That page is gone. But anyway, I'll give it doesn't matter because I've just been shuffling through these pages and I might have just got rid of the tab, which I will give you the link anyway, so just look for it in the bottom and you can check it out. But anyway, it goes into a little bit more of it and it says how they kind of got together and started to look at these, moon photos for more and more anomalies. Now, this one here is basically what they were talking. I don't know if you guys seen on Sci-Fi, but they talked about what looked like a giant satellite dish on the moon, as well as other structures. The problem with it is, I don't know if it's scientists or whoever it is just not really getting into these photos like they should. They're not digging. Now, even this photo here, now this is a real crappy photo, so this isn't what we're going to cover, although it is this area as well, but a lot better quality. Anyway, you got this round area with this, what looks like, and they're saying a dish, what looks like a antenna sticking out, because that's what the arm or the LNB, at least on the dishes that you and I have, like whether it be DirecTV, Dish Network, or if you live in Canada, it's Bell Express View, so on and so forth. The thing about it is, the arm, the antenna is always at the end of the arm, which is the LNB, or the low noise block, as they call it, and that's the receiving antenna or transmitter, depending on if it's transmitting or receiving. And the dish is nothing more than that's it. It's just a reflector. Okay. So I looked at this and I'm going, I just don't see it. I don't see it as a dish. But that doesn't mean it's not something extraordinary. And you're going to see this because this was going to blow your mind. What I don't get, like I said, I don't understand why scientists are not making a big shit about this. Because what I'm about to show you just goes poof. It should blow your mind. Okay, so let me jump into this. And I don't know if I've got this like this or let me see here. Let me do this. Yeah, because even though, okay, this is the full picture, and again, you've got this weird, 2D, look at nice flat area kind of thing. And I can understand that to a certain degree anyway, because think about it. When you're high up off the ground, it's hard to see anything if you're level. If you're more level down to the ground, you'll see things sticking up a whole lot easier. But nonetheless, they're pretty good at what they do. They'll take all of this here and they'll I don't know why this computer's running so bloody slow, but it is. So just bear with me on that. But anyway, so I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, wow, I'm just seeing so much more than just these craters and other crap like this. Now, what I like about it is them guys got together and they pointed out a couple things, and you can see the two arrows, but I don't know what they're trying to convey here in this circle part. I don't know if it's this right here. I'm not sure what that is. I imagine where this arrow is, it looks like some kind of weird bridge type thing. It looks like it has a shadow under here. You can see it right there. But this here was a little bit more intelligently made than meets the eye. This one here goes down, goes across, it looks like. Well, that wasn't very straight, was it? Goes down, comes down like this, and then goes down. At least that's the way it looks to me. But the weird thing about it is it has, well, it looks like it has openings. See it, right? 1, 2, 3, and there's like one over here, but then this mess is all thrown up against it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see it? 1, 2, 3. Now, again, guys, stop this video any way you want and use your magnifier, because I'm going to jump to these steps pretty quick, and I'm just going to expose these things, and I'm going to show you what's really in this photo. And why people are not digging into these is beyond me. It's almost like they don't expect anything else to be in this photo other than a few things. Now, don't get me wrong. These guys have found some wild things in these photos, so I'm not taking anything away from them. Kudos goes to them. However, what I see is something gigantic in this photo other than what I'm going to show you. Now, I'm going to show you these things first because this is cool. All right, you've got these here. Now, let's get into, I'm going to jump into this. And again, I don't know why this thing's running so bloody slow, but it is. Okay. What you can do, too, is like I've got this at 50%. So use your magnifier. Look in this whole area right over here. You've got all of this here. Now, to me, a lot of these craters, like this one here, like when you look at this photo right, you look at these pieces right here, they look like craters. But one thing I've noticed about the moon, I've seen on other planets as well, it seems like they build on platforms and then they have either a dome structure or some kind of structure sticking out. I don't know what it is. Now, I'm not saying anything you see on the moon isn't a crater. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, but there's some things in here, and you're going to see this in a little bit, that if you take a close look at them, they're not concaved into the ground. They're flat, and they appear to be above the ground with something on top or in the middle of. Now, you always see these impact craters that look like it comes straight onto the moon. Why don't you ever see them doing this? With as many, craters there are on this moon, you'd think you'd see them coming in from a long distance and like big trails on them. You never see any of that, ever. At least not in these photos. Now, it leads me to believe that I don't believe these are just craters. Now, let's jump into this. All right. What I want you guys to start taking a look at is this right here. Not only this right here, but this a little bit closely. But more importantly, check this out. You're going to see this come a little bit more evident as I go along. And you can start to see the line right here. Now, you go, oh, I'm not seeing nothing there. There's nothing there. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's jump into it more. Now, you didn't see too much there because I've actually, if I remember correctly, if I go up to here. Okay. What I want to show you guys is not only, this is what I found bizarre. I wanted to go back, I just wanted to backtrack for just for a moment. I'll tell you why. This is great. Even if I was to believe, I didn't show you another thing on this photo. This is the stock photo. All I did was just blew it up. That's all I did. Didn't contrast anything. Didn't do a thing to it. Why would a rock or a crater have this kind of funky looking crap right here? Okay. I see what looks like a vertical line, a dark line, and what looks like a little bit of something with an appendage sticking out of it. What the hell does that? But But after I got into this photo a little bit more, my God, this will blow you away. Now, let's get back out of that. Now, let's get back on what I was saying. Let's jump right into 6. And I'm going to show you guys something I think you... Now, even right here, this is at 33%. Take your magnifier and look at this area right here. And, oh my God, it is insane. Watch this. Let's get into this a little bit more. Now I'm going to go ahead and lighten this up, this whole area. And have a look at these little bits and pieces in here. I'm going to jump up to 50%. Now I'm going to jump in for the people who have your cell phones, tablets, and stuff. I'm going to give everybody a moment to have a look at it with their magnifiers or whatever. Again, pause it anywhere you like. Now let's jump into this. What I find bizarre about this, and this is starting to break apart. This is the reason why I don't like, to zoom in. This is the reason why I always tell people when you find a photo, just take the stock photo or make sure it's reduced to about 50% and then use your magnifier. Why? Because most of these pictures from, whether it be about the moon, Mars, doesn't matter what it is. Most of them are high, I was going to say high res, yeah, buddy. Low res, so therefore, guess what? The second you start to zoom in, what does it do? You get total degradation. You don't want the photo to degrade. You want to see the clarity as much as you can. Now, even at 100% on this, it's starting to degrade and it's starting to look like crap. But if you look right here, you can see what looks like this weird U-shaped object, or it's multiple objects. I don't know. But if you notice, there's 1, 2, 3, actually there's a 4th, 5th, and they all happen to be on this ring. Imagine that. It's not half off, it's not half on. It's on, smack dab on. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But look at these weird, what looks like another platform and a dome or something on the top of that. All of these little shiny bits, they're either shiny or they're lights, one of the two. And I'm going to say they're probably shiny pieces, to be honest with you, but it's hard to tell. There's no way of knowing this. Here's another thing that's pretty crazy. I'm looking at this piece here and I'm thinking, is that a tower? Is that standing up? I don't believe it is, and I'm going to tell you why. When I looked at this cylindrical piece right here, okay, and you can have a look at it again anywhere you want, stop it wherever you like, it looks like it has a shadow and it's overhanging this, so I'm guessing this is flat. Is it possible this is some kind of runway? What's funny about it is you go over here, you can see it very faintly, it travels over to what looks like another triangular area, and again, have a look at this with your... and looks to have some darker area there. Now, what it is, couldn't tell you. This now is actually a structure. It has a square to the top of it. Now, watch this. Check this out. Now, it doesn't look that clear now, but I will once I back out. Oops, that was kind of a little jerky. Let's do this. Okay. And now you don't see this super clear right now, but you will. And what you'll notice is there's a black stripe or something on this corner, and it looks like there's something black, or I should make that a little straighter. Looks like there's something black underneath the rim of this thing. Now, there's also a shadow over here. Okay, let's back out. Now you can see this a little bit better now that I've gotten the lines off of it. But check it out. All of this whole area. And the thing is, guys, you will get it within a few days. I usually like to give a few days before I put these photos up. But you'll be able to see it. So if the resolution isn't that great on your monitor or whatever the case may be, I'm going to make sure you guys get the pictures, both 50% and also zoomed up. So you guys can, really see. I'll have the zoomed in as well as the regular photo. So you guys can have a real good look at it. So, okay. Let's get into this a little bit more. And again, this is just wild. I don't know what the hell that piece is, but that's just cool looking. Okay, so let's jump into this. Now, I made it a little bit darker. Now, check this out. Look, check out this item now on this disc. I should say this flat platform, if you will. But check out these other stuff, or these other things here. This is at 60%. Now, have a look at this with your magnifiers, so we can just... and you can just see this right here, this U-shaped item. Pieces coming off. There's all like these land masses, if you will. And it doesn't stop there, guys. It keeps going. If you go to any of these areas that seem to be slightly lighter, like over here, here, just go into the lighter areas, the slightly lighter areas, and you're going to find that a lot of these have these little structures all inside here. These are all linked together. These are all some kind of giant city right there on the moon. And people can argue, hell, I can't see that shit with my telescope. You won't. No Earth-based telescope, at least not civilians, are going to see anything like this. And even the most powerful, big observatory, I should say, telescopes, I don't believe they can even see this. So And if they can, then they're keeping it a secret from everybody. I don't believe they can see the detail unless you're got pictures directly from the LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or any of these photos that had to do with the mission, the moon missions. So have a look at that, like I said, and this structure right here. And if you think about it, it kind of goes, I'm going to back out just a little bit. Check this out. If I was to back out, now this would be the top. If you were looking right here at the very top of the moon, you would see structures standing right out, right? Common sense. All right. But as you go more and more towards the side of the planet, or the moon rather, what would happen? The things would almost be looking straight at you, coming straight out at you, or at least up, and then it kind of does that. So it's at a perfect angle if you think about it. Right there. Now, again, let's get back into it. Do this, and there you go. Now I'm going to zoom back in for people. Oops, hit the microphone by accident there. Check that out. That's no dish. It's an actual structure, which doesn't make, the dish pod's still extraordinary, either way you look at it. But to me, this is some big tower kind of structure, if you will. And we'll go into the this other area here. But again, it is now pixelated and falling apart, so it looks like crap, and you can't make these. I don't like doing that to these photos. I like getting back, and this is at 100%. And this is at 66%. And even then, it shows a great deal. Now, let me jump into this other piece real quick, because you're going to love this. What I told you before, they like to render everything 2D. And they've been doing this since the moon missions, and this is perfect evidence of it. When I seen this other piece, I don't know, I think I overshot way over here. Right here, if you notice, you'll start to see this weird other thing going like this. It's like some kind of extension to this piece here. I'm going, what the hell could that possibly be? Again, let me just go backtrack. If you notice, it looks like it's kind of a 2D. You don't really see much there. There's nothing much happening. So on and so forth. See, it just kind of like, it's just maybe it's part of a crater. Maybe it's, I don't see it as a crater. The reason why I don't is because I'm looking at this here and I'm going, all right, I'm seeing what looks like an intelligent line here, right here, and then some kind of weird shape. Okay, so I jumped into this thing to see if I could find out if this was actually standing off the ground, and it is. It's actually on top of the actual lunar surface, and I'm going to show you that right now. Not to mention I'm going to give this computer a lobotomy after I'm done with this, because I don't know why it's running this slow, but I'm going to really rip this thing apart and find out what's going on. Okay, check this out now. This thing is bigger than God knows what. I don't know what it is, but it's bigger than you think. Check this out. Nothing like that is going to stand out and has this weird appendage or whatever it is sticking out of it. See, it's got kind of this oval type shape, nice vertical line or darkened area detail with this tail end sticking out of it. I don't know what this is, guys, but you know what's really crazy? You're going to like this. This was pretty bizarre. I didn't notice this until later on. If you can see this, again, lines are everything. I don't care what color they are. I don't care how big this object or whatever it is, how big or small they're trying to convey that is. Doesn't matter. Look for lines. Check this out. I was going through this. I'm looking, okay. Check this out. You can see the line to the rest of it, it looks like, right here. And it looks like it does this, and then you've got the rest of whatever the hell this thing's supposed to be. I couldn't tell you what it is, have no idea, but I can tell you one thing. It's definitely no crater. It's clearly above the surface. Look at it. It's clearly above it. Not when you look at their picture, the way they're trying to convey this. All of this, they've made all of this in here to try to cover up whatever's laying here. Again, there's actually something right here. You can notice where they fudged it out. And they're trying to hide it. Now, is there more than one piece here, or is it? I believe it's more than one piece. This thing keeps going. Now, check this thing out in the back. What the hell does that? And that's the key. Whatever these things are, okay? And again, this piece here is clearly sitting on the surface of the moon. But when you look at over here, there's something right here. There's a white piece, another white piece. Now, the more you get into this and try to blast through this crap and then bring out the brighter parts, if you notice right here, this was right here. You can see it was slightly brightened right there, but because they went over this garbage, with this garbage, it hit it. But if you were to use your dodge tool, you can literally bring out anything that has a white signature. This is what I've been saying, and you can get it to pop. And this is the reason why I was able to get this to look like this. Now, when I looked at this, I went, whoa, are you kidding me? Check this out. This is what I mean by right here. You can see these lines and how I was able to break through this and bring out this here. And this is what the heck come out of this. And I'm going, okay, clearly this thing has height. It has height to it. I don't know what this is. Look like some kind of giant pipe type thing. I'm not even sure what it is. Don't even know. But to me, you back out of this picture to give you a better perspective. And clearly these things are off the surface. This thing or these things would have to be gigantic. Now, gigantic, but if you're looking through an Earth-based telescope, you probably wouldn't even see it. You know what I mean? It might look like just like a long mountain range and you would think nothing of it because you can't really see any great detail. With this picture, because they took the picture, check it out. You're telling me that that's a crater of some sort, huh? I don't think so. I don't believe that it is. And this is just proof that there are things on the moon. And I'm going to go back down to this before I get out of here because I don't want to take up too much of your time. And there you go. And like I said, guys, have a good look at this. I didn't go through this whole thing. Let me see something here. Yeah, check that out. Check this little piece out right here. That's insane. When you look at that, yeah, right there. That's clearly not a crater. But like I said, you get into this right here, and look at all of these lighter pieces here. And I haven't even started, guys. I haven't even reached the very bottom of this photo, if you will. I just decided to do right here in this whole area because I believe there's much more to it than meets the eye. Because when I seen that on this and heard about it and decided to dive into this thing, I'm going, oh my God, what could possibly be near something that's intelligently made? More intelligently made items. So there you go. But anyway, guys, give me your take on it because I'm going to tell you what. When you look back at this thing, wow. It's between this on the top, these other items off in the back, and I haven't even gotten fully into that one, but you can clearly see there's something that's rounded in the front. Looks like it's almost like kind of rounded in the back, and there's other pieces right here. And again, stop at this, and look at this yellow light or brighter part right there, right smack dab in the crosshairs. What is that? I think it's an actual, I think it's an actual structure or some sort. And if you notice, when you look at this, suddenly now it looks like there's more darker areas, meaning there's more depth. That's right, folks. They're taking the depth out of these photos to make it look like it's nothing more than a flat surface, or maybe a little bit of dunes and some dunes and some craters. It's not. You know, again, you and I would not be able to see any of these details with our telescopes. There's no way I could. There's just no way. I've seen people get real close, but I mean, there's no way you'd be able to see the detail with any kind of telescope that we could buy. So, give me your take on this, guys. I'm going to zoom in just one last time to let you guys have a look, especially this giant piece that's on, or pieces, depending on how you look at it. I'm going to get right in for anybody who's on their phones. And tell me what you think that is. Clearly, that's on the surface. That is not on, in the ground. And you can see whatever that is. You can see it right here. It's still, see the way it has this weird shape to it right here even. Something's doing this, and then it goes like this. It's mechanical. It's got some kind of shape to it. It's not just a simple piece of trash. It's there. So whatever these things are, look, it actually looks like you can see another little detail, like something written or something, or some hatch door. Or, well, of course, I'm just, see it right there? You can see this line right here going like this and then back down. So I don't know what that is, but clearly this is not a crater of any way, shape, or form. Let me go back down again, down here, and scroll down. Have a look at what he circled. Maybe you guys can see something I'm not seeing. But to me, again, this looks like some kind of weird bridge type thing, and you can see a shadow underneath it. And this thing was just amazing. This thing's cool. But when you look at these things here, this is too laid out, like I said, with this U-shaped thing, this landmass down here, structures, and you can see what looks like shaped land masses if you look carefully. Again, don't look at colors, look at the shapes. That's what you want to find. Back out, give you guys better perspective, and we're going to zip right out of here. And get back in. Okay. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Share the video. And like I said, give me a thumbs up. Always appreciate it. But more than anything, share the video and give me your comments. I'd love to know what you guys think, because I'm going to tell you what. There's things that have been, that many people have talked about that's on this moon, and a lot of people laugh it off like, well, they've never been to the moon, so they couldn't have seen this. Even if you would have believed that, let's just play along with that for a moment. Yeah, they never went to the moon. Doesn't mean they didn't send an orbiter. Okay? Doesn't mean they didn't send an orbiter, which is, you got the LRO, which is mapping the moon. They already mapped the moon. You got, all of these, satellites can take pictures of anything. So these objects are clearly there. And I believe that they were 100% on the moon. And this is what they're hiding from the public. So give me your take. Tell me what you think is going on, especially with these items and these what look like cities to me. There can be no other thing but a city. Is it possible somebody's drawing them in to make them look like cities? Why they would do that is beyond me. But give me your take. Let me know what you think. Share the video. And let me see. Okay, and I also have another video coming up I think you guys will like. It may not be the next one, but it's going to be real soon. I've got another moon video that shows even more crazier details. Maybe not in the finer details like the city we just seen, but as far as like the lunar surface and how it looks like there's many bigger structures kind of standing up out of the ground. So stay tuned for that as well. But anyway, guys, I want to let you guys go for now. Again, give me your comments down below, and that's pretty much it. You guys have yourself a good weekend, and we'll see you next video.